And I would indeed, as a token of the generosity and foresight of China,
Yes.
who in some respects is not totally welcome in Africa. And I'll tell you this why. The demise of the cronyism in Southern Africa and in North Africa, entire Africa in fact, is coming to an end. We've seen the fall of Mubarak. We've seen the practical fall of Muammar Gaddafi.
Yeah.
We are seeing the life expectancy of Robert Mugabe coming to close to its end.
Yes.
Things are about to change in Africa.
Yeah.
And certain African people, heads of state that I've heard through the grapevine, have been talking about the respectability of the Chinese and how the Chinese perform and operate and how they keep their promises. We also need China to come to the table properly. China has to remember that India is there, Russia is there,
Yeah.
Brazil is there, and we are also talking to them.
Yes. Or yes, to become, actually South Africa is part of BRICS.
Yes, we're the tiny pip in BRICS, but
Yes.
it doesn't mean that we should be discounted. It doesn't mean that the people who are actually the ones that are the real movers and shakers and decision makers in BRICS, in the South African component of it,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that they should be disregarded, and it doesn't mean that, as people joke,
Yeah.
saying that when China says jump South Africa, then South Africa says how high.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen like that.
Yes. That is actually understandable.
Yeah. So indeed, our Chinese friends are welcome.
Yes.
We have friends in China. We
Yes.
have friends all over the world,
Yes.
and we continue to welcome them.
Yes.
We just expect people to also consider that we have our own mannerisms and ways of doing things, and if we happen to be friends with the Dalai Lama, so be it. We prefer
Yes.
you to all sit around and talk peace and be humane with one another and look to the betterment of mankind.
Yes.
Without it, I think we're getting nowhere.
Yes, even though it is not necessarily about being friends with the Dalai Lama, but being reasonable with him.
Reasonable and civilized, yes.
Yes, all right.
In our world, we have murderers that become free men and Nobel Peace Prize winners. So
Yes.
It leads me to think that people can be respected.
Yes.
People can change their views ever so slightly, and that in general terms mankind is evolving in any case.
Yes.
That is my point of view.
Right, that's very nice. So, do you have anything in conclusion to say?
I hope that we can find one or two Chinese gentlemen with a capitalist mind that has over the time observed and recognized the value of Hong Kong,
Yes.
and has recognized and examined the role of Monaco in Europe,
Yes.
and recognized and observed the role of Dubai in the Middle East,
Yes.
and who can consider that the Cape Party is a vehicle to create the Cape Republic,
Yes.
and can consider his involvement in the creation of the Cape Republic,
Yes.
and in view of that,
Yeah.
allow the Cape Republic, through his assistance and mutual agreement with other parties that he could be introduced to,
Yeah.
to enable the Cape to be a self-sustaining and independent nation,
Yeah.
where we have our own industries, we have our own power supply, we become a financial hub,
Yeah.
and we have the ability to trade in a couple or a number of free trade zone and ports.
Yeah.
It can be Saldanha Bay, it can be the port of Cape Town, it can be the port of Mossel Bay, it can be the port of Kucha, Port Elizabeth,
Yes.
and it may even be Port Nolloth and Alexander Bay.
Yes.
These are all ports which could be free trade zone ports
Yes.
in the Cape Nation
Yes.
and the Cape Republic.
Yeah.
And my view it is that such a concept is very possible. It has high potential. It will also make enemies, I think, to some regards, like Mr. Gaddafi has made enemies because he said that he wants to be paid in gold for his petroleum.
Yes.
And he's made enemies, and nations of the Western world are attempting to kill him.
Yes.
Which is a fact.
Yes. I mean,
So my conclusion is,
but
we still
obviously
open.
they went too far. I mean,
We all know they went too
Yes.
far. NATO has gone too far in a number of places. But in any
yes.
case, we are still inviting the Chinese to talk with us,
Yes.
and we are happy to talk with the Chinese.
Yes.
There are people amongst our team that think straight and
Yes.
think not only of today but 50 or 100 years ahead.
Yes.
And that is my conclusion.
All right. So, thank you very much.
Thank you also.
Right.